Haggen's is a Northwest grocery store that recently acquired 146 stores, expanding from their original 18, 86 of which are in California. This hasty acquisition was due to the merger of Safeway and Albertsons, who had to seek the approval of the FTC to avoid being considered a monopoly.
When determining if a firm is an oligopoly, it must contain the following: few suppliers in the industry, similar but unique products, high barriers of entry, price competition, and price makers with interdependence.
One of the defining characteristics of an oligopoly is that there are few suppliers. For an example, there are only a handful of stores in SLO: Haggen, Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, Ralph, and Vons. The concentration ratio is the measure of total output produced in an industry and is used to prove there are only a few suppliers. According to the USDA, the 8-firm concentration ratio was 48.1% in 2013. However, at this time, Safeway was the third largest firm and Albertsons was the sixth. We cannot find current information on the 4-firm concentration ratio in 2015, but due to the merger between the third and sixth largest firms, we can predict that the 4-firm concentration ratio is 40% or above.
Oligopolies tend to have similar but unique products. While brands may differ from store to store, they at least offer the basic grocery items, such as produce, canned goods, baked goods, and meat counters.
It can be very difficult to enter into an oligopolistic market structure. The amount of financial capital to purchase the product for resale alone is very high. Currently, Albertsons is suing Haggen for $36 million because they accused Haggen of not paying for the inventory at 32 stores.
Not only are oligopolists price makers, but they are interdependent with one another. Haggen's made a huge error due to the fact that they did not distinguish themselves from the average grocery stores, but charged high prices like Whole Foods. Stores like Vons, Albertsons, and Ralph's have an idea of a general price range. For example, a can of corn could range from $1 to $2 due to slight differences in the product, either organic or generic. However, they stay within a relatively narrow price range due to the competitiveness of the market. Currently, Haggen's is in a legal dispute with Albertsons due to prices. They accused Albertsons of giving them false data on the historic prices charged at many of the stores Albertsons sold them. When Haggen's priced their food according to Albertsons' figures, it became clear that they were too high and therefore became uncompetitive.
Haggen's fixed cost was too high. Their Santa Barbara location was not making enough revenue to cover their rent. In September, it was posted on their front door that they owed $93,000 in unpaid rent since June. With further examination, we are able to see that they were unable to cover their variable cost. Millions of dollars for inventory acquired were owed to Albertsons. Employee wages could not be covered. According to BizJournal, Haggen owed its employees approximately $10 million in accrued salaries and wages as of September 8th. These two indicators prove that Haggen needs to shut down.
When moving from MC to MC1, you enter into the elastic portion of the kink demand. A large increase in the cost causes only a small increase in price. Therefore, you end up above the average total cost.
Haggen has begun to close with the goal of cutting back to 36 core stores. This leaves small towns with pharmacy and grocery store duopolies or even monopolies in some cases. Remaining stores now become less efficient in terms of productivity and allocation. Grocery stores in areas by these closing Haggens are now able to charge higher prices, and some cannot accommodate the large amount of new customers switching over from the closed stores.